so many times we think that we're actually in the work for manifesting our sacred love in our relationships, and we're not. So shout out to everybody who said this is their first time. Jenny, Taryn, Christiane, Tramel. Did you like it? Y'all let me know. Let me know. Did you like the song? Did you like it? I absolutely adore that song. And it's so important, right? It's so important because so many times people think that because they're single, they're having me time. When the reality is if you are not doing the internal work, if you are not being spiritually activated and spiritually transformed, you're not really having me time. You're not really connecting with you. A lot of times you're watching TV, you're eating to distract yourself. You know what I mean? It could be sex, right? It could be being with friends all the time. It could be watching YouTube videos all the time. Me time is really about creating a deeper level of intimacy with yourself. Me time is really about looking into yourself and connecting with yourself, good, bad, beautiful, ugly, all of those things. And this me time is so important in the sacrament of love and manifesting that sacred partnership. Just because you are single doesn't mean that you've been in the me time. It doesn't mean that you've been, like Shamika said, which I love, it doesn't mean that you've actually been committed to yourself, nurturing your higher self. Okay? A lot of times, I know a lot of single people, single mothers, single fathers, just out in the world dating, but they don't have a single clue about who they are and what they actually need. I remember a few years ago, I don't know if it was my big brother or my cousin, but either it was my older brother or my younger cousin, both men, they were going through some type of some shit in their lives, right? Like, I can't remember which one of them it was, but I know it was one of them. But they were going through some stuff, some challenges. And I was just, Spirit had gave me the message that just was like, damn, y'all know what type of alcohol you love. You know you love to drink Hennessy. You know you love, to smoke weed. You know you love a yellow bone, brown skin, dark skin. You know what your favorite food is, but you do not know what it is you really are needing on a soul level. You know everything about your humanity. I like that. I don't like that. This is a job. I can't stand this job. You know all of those things, but you do not know what your soul, what your spirit is actually yearning and asking of you at this time. Okay? You know all of these things about yourself, but you don't know who you are to your core. You don't know what has made you to be the person you are today. And you don't know, or you cannot identify the things that actually need to change in order for you to become the person you desire to be. And so this is where me time comes into place. Because when we're talking about me time, exactly what you all are doing right now is the essence of me time. Like Jeff just said and Christiane just said, they said, I definitely wasted a lot of time on this journey while single. Me too, wasted time finding out who I am because I was distracted. And we distract ourselves with jobs. We distract ourselves with content. We distract ourselves with family. We distract ourselves with busyness. We distract ourselves with chaos. And so even when you manifest a relationship, it is imperative to still honor me time. One of the greatest things, let me just even tell y'all how Dream and I decided to be together. We had met each other in like 2010 or something like that. And we met each other at the gym. I was a freshman in college. He was fresh out of college. And we were working at 24-Hour Fitness, exercising. I just needed a summer job and I wanted to work somewhere where I could still exercise because I was a college athlete. And so we met each other and we're doing us and we're friends and we're good. And for years, for 4 years, we stayed friends. It not being anything, right? Like just, I'm in town. Hey, I'm in Houston. What are you up to? Oh, nothing. I'm chilling. You want to go to the movies? Okay, cool. Let's go to the movies. Blah, 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 blah. I graduate from college. I come home and then I decided I was going to go play volleyball overseas. So I'm overseas. I'm in Germany. Very scary experience. And I still actually work on overcoming that fear because it was such a scary thing for me. But I remember talking to him on the phone and just being like, hey, I think I'm gonna come home. I'm over here. It's not what I wanted it to be. I'm all by myself. I'm all alone. I'm like the only Black person out here. Everywhere I walk, I'm being stared at by white people, by Germans, I should say. And it was just a scary thing. So I come home and then I experienced a depression. And I was depressed because y'all know whenever your life changes and you have to figure out this new reality, for me, it was, okay, you're no longer an athlete. You're no longer in college. You're no longer a student. You're a grown woman now. What are you going to do with your life? And so I was depressed. And so depression led me to meditation. And so I just started meditating and meditating and meditating. And I meditated literally for a year straight every day. And during that time, Dream and I, we were talking and we would connect. And I vividly remember him saying, oh, I'm fasting from watching TV for a year. So at the same time in our lives, we were in that me time phase. We were in what Iyanla Vanzant would call in the meantime. Meaning, while you are waiting for your manifestation, for your relationship, for your love, while you are in the meantime, what are you doing? See, for me at that time, I wasn't thinking about a relationship at all. I was thinking about like, who the hell am I? What the hell am I? What am I doing? What am I about to do in my life? So meditation was what I had to go to, use because like I said, I was depressed and I was having so many negative thoughts. I was like, okay, I had never experienced anything like that. I was like, this is not how I'm supposed to be living. And when I did research on how to stop negative thinking, meditation came up. I started doing it and so many beautiful things started happening. So I kept going. And it just so happened at that time in my life, he had decided I'm no longer watching TV. And so through us both doing that work, I would come over to his house and visit him. And let's say I've been over there for a few hours. I was still meditating. I was like, hey, I know we kicking it, we talking, we chilling, but I got to meditate. And I would go in his room, sit on his bed, and I would meditate. And at the time, he was like, damn, you really serious about this? I'm like, yeah, I cannot afford to have my mind thinking negatively and not being in a positive state of being. And so we were both in that me time experience, which is what set us up to have the relationship that we have today. We were both in a process of truly getting to know ourselves as individuals. And through that, we were able to see, one, what we truly needed. I vividly remember during that time, I was still meditating every day, but him and I decided, okay, let's start dating. Let's actually kind of get serious about each other, not just on the friend tip. And I remember being at his apartment. He was actually this time See, he was he's still such a disciplined person, but this time he was going a year without alcohol, no drinking for a year. That's me time. That's sacrifice. And so he was doing the 1 year, no drinking, and I'm at his house and I'm looking at him. And my spirit just said, wow, I want to be you. Now, that was such a scary thought for me because I never had a desire to be anybody other than myself. But when I looked at him and I saw this glow and I saw this liveliness and I saw this discipline and I saw that divine masculine energy, I admired him. And I had never admired a man before, not even my own father. Not even my own father. I didn't admire. Okay. And so his discipline and his consistency and his desire to work on himself, to heal himself, to overcome some of those aspects, it set us up to have a healthy relationship. And so now in us maintaining this relationship, we still have to do that work. We still have to fast. We still have to meditate. We still have to have that me time. We still have to have time apart. We still have to do internal work. That is a part of the sacrament of sacred love. And so a lot of times you've been manifesting relationships with people in spaces and places where you haven't been doing any work on yourself, true work on yourself. Okay? Really working through your emotions, really working through your thoughts. And then also manifesting a person who is in the same space. When you are tapping into the sacrament of sacred love, both of you will both be in your work. It will not be one-sided. It will not be, okay, I've been meditating, I've been working on myself, I've been doing this, and this person's like, oh yeah, I've been playing video games and I've been doing this and I've been doing that. That's not it, sisters and brothers. Because you enter the relationship with a lack of balance. You want your sacrament of sacred love to be grounded in self-development, to be grounded in self-love, to be grounded in self-work. Okay? So the place that you are in right now, this me time that you are in right now, it needs to be honored and it needs to be revered because it's a very special time. And you cannot allow yourself to get caught up in what you don't have and what's not present right now. Because this is the moment, these are the times that is actually setting you up for the relationship that you desire. And this is the perspective that you have to move forward with. Okay? And so it's not just, I'm proud of y'all for watching your romantic movies. I'm proud of you for doing what you need to do with your toys and you're letting people go. I'm so proud of you for doing that because that's a part of the me time. That's literally a part of the process. So, a part of your me time, family, is sacrifice. It's asking yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice to just become deeper in love with myself? What am I willing to sacrifice to get a better understanding of myself? And so for me, it was sacrificing smoking weed. I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. When I was depressed, when I was experiencing depression, my humanity didn't want to do the internal work to get over it, to really heal it. I was numbing myself for a while where I would just smoke weed. And I wasn't like, I never could roll a joint or anything like that. But if I had a little pipe or something, which I did, I would just hit it. And that's how I would deal with the depression. get a little high. It lasts for about however long, 15, 20 minutes, because I still can't smoke. I didn't really smoke a lot then, but it would just lift me a little bit. It would just bring me up out of it just a little bit. And so I had to say, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice this quick fix that ain't really fixing. I'm going to sacrifice dealing with the symptoms, and I'm going to get down to the core of what's actually happening inside of me, of this actual initiation and transformation that is actually happening inside of my life right now. I'm going to sacrifice that, and I'm going to get into the real work. I also had to sacrifice friendships at that time. I would have friends come over. So right when I started meditating, things started manifesting fast for me. And so this is something beautiful I want y'all to understand. Once you commit yourself to the me time, things start to manifest fast. I'm talking about Godspeed. So for me, when I came home from overseas, I went home and I was living with my mom. That's when the depression really started, because I'm like, okay, I have not lived with my mom in so many years. Why am I here? What am I doing? My brothers are all out of the house. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on, da, 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 da. And so once I started meditating, boom, I manifested my apartment with my best friend, Victoria. And there were so many times, come on, girl, let's smoke, or come on, girl, let's go hang out. And I literally had to tell her no. I literally had to say, I'm about to meditate. Can you keep it down? I'm about to do yoga. You know, can you not come in the room? Or I literally had to, that's what I had to do for my me time. And doing this made me more attractive to my partner. Doing this made me more attractive to Dream. See, when you're not nourishing yourself, ooh, this is so juicy. When you are not nourishing yourself holistically, the person that you're supposed to be connecting with can't even see you. And you can't see them because your glasses are clouded. When I tell y'all, the very first time I saw Dream, I saw him from way across the room, way across the gym, and he caught my attention. And I just paused, and I remember time standing still, and then time just sped right back up, back to regular process of life, moving on. And during those 4 years or so of us being friends, we weren't in the work. We weren't having me time as individuals, right? We were going out, we would have some drinks, we had some friends. I was hanging out with toxic friends. He was hanging out with toxic friends. I was a college girl who was naive, who was looking for validation, who was so disconnected from herself. So I wasn't attracted to him. She's cool. We have a good conversation, but I don't see myself being with her. And vice versa. I literally have friends that would be like, you always hanging out with this guy. Why aren't y'all together? I'm like, what? I don't like him like that. I couldn't see him. And he couldn't see me. But right when that work started happening and we started to really peel away some of those layers, then I looked at him. I'm telling y'all, it was my first time in my entire life, in my little 20-something years at the time, where I wanted a man. Pure energy. I had never experienced that before. Any other time I had ever wanted to connect with a man, it was on some void shit. Like, it was on some, like, I did not like these men. Let's be real about it. Can we be real? Can we be real? Can I be real with y'all? And brothers, y'all are the same way. There have been women that you have come in contact with that you did not really like. They really didn't do it for you. But you settled and you did all of that because you had something missing inside of you. Okay? All of these college guys I was dealing with while I was in college, I didn't really like them. Their personality was lackluster. They did not stimulate me mentally, was not tall enough, wasn't attractive enough, was not giving me what I actually needed. But because my vision was clouded, because I wasn't tuned into myself, because I didn't know what I was needing and what I was missing and who I was engaging with people who were draining more than anything. Now, I'm grateful to Spirit because you still learn from those lessons. I still learn from those lessons. But what I realize now is that my interest in them was from a void. It was from not knowing myself. It was from lack. It was from, okay, nobody has told me I'm beautiful and I'm lovely and I'm deserving and I want this. Nobody has told me this. This guy's in my face. I guess I'm gonna talk to him. And that's not a conscious thing that is happening, ladies and gentlemen. That is happening on an unconscious level. And you don't realize it until you do some healing work and you look back and you're like, oh shit, these niggas wasn't shit. I didn't even like you. Like for real, for real. I don't, some of y'all may not be like me, but that was just my experience. That was my experience. And so as I started doing my healing work, I finally saw somebody dream-wise who didn't look like what I thought I liked. Did not look like what I thought I liked from a physical perspective. I did not know he was my type. Because my type was conditioned based off of trauma. My type was conditioned based off of the home girl saying, this is what's attractive. Oh yeah, girl, he fine. Yeah, that's fine right there. My condition was, this is what looks good. Okay. And so as I got into my work, I was able to start seeing more clearly. And I was able to start feeling more clearly as well. And my heart and my mind were in alignment. So in the past, when I was intimate with some of these brothers, let's keep it real. In the past, when I was intimate with some of these brothers, there was a part of me that didn't want to be. There was a part of me that was like, ugh, like, why am I doing this? It didn't even feel right. And it did not fulfill me. Let's just talk about it. Wasn't no orgasms happening. Let's just be real about it. It wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't fulfilling mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically. Because those relationships were based off of conditions and trauma and a lack of self-awareness. But once I got into that me time, baby, I started meditating every day. You couldn't tell me shit. It did not matter where I was. I could be spending the night at a friend's house. I would say, hey, girl, I'm about to go sit over here. I just need 15 to 20 minutes. I have to do this. And I was dedicated to it. And I vividly remember Dream came to our apartment. Me and my homegirl, Victoria, we were having, I don't know, housewarming, some type of little gathering or whatever. He came. Mind y'all, I can tell y'all how many times he kind of moved me to the side too. I'm gonna tell you the truth. When you are not in alignment within yourself, you are not being seen by the people who need to see you. I had a birthday party. The same year that I graduated from college, came home and had a birthday party. I invited Dream to my birthday party. Did not come. Did not come to my birthday party. It was a nice birthday party and everything. He did not show up. I could go on and on and on about different things that happened before we got together that really just symbolized how we were not ready. We just weren't ready. We were not who we needed to be to even initiate the process. But anyways, we're in our work. He's not watching TV or drinking alcohol. I'm meditating every day, doing yoga every day. He comes to my apartment for a housewarming party. See, I guess the energy was right. Now the energy was like, okay, y'all can do y'all thing. Let's see what happens. And I see him walk across the room. I don't know if y'all ever heard Jill Scott's song where she talks about, you just run across my mind. You just run across my mind. That Jill Scott song, if y'all don't know that song, go listen to that song. But in the song, she says, I just love the way you walked across the room, into the room, out of the room. Oh my God. Every word she said, I truly felt. I understood. I had this pure, divine, sacred, almost animalistic urge and desire for dream with there was no confusion in my mind. This is the first time I ever did this in my entire life. And now we've been together 9 years. First time I ever did this, where I came up to him and I said, I want you to stay the night with me. I had never done anything like that. Any other time I had ever been intimate with a person, it was always on some ridiculousness, like, oh, we're sitting here, okay, this is awkward, okay, whatever. It was never me just knowing in my being that I wanted this person. So yes, ladies, I made the first move on him. I absolutely made the first move on him. I absolutely said, yes, you need to stay the night. And he obliged. He absolutely obliged. He was like, okay, cool. He was surprised. Like, for real? I was like, yeah, for real. Yeah, I want you to stay tonight. And he did. And that night was very sweet. Let's just say that. It was very sweet. And that was all she wrote, baby. That was it. That was it. It's me and you forever now, okay? I say all of that to say, don't take for granted the space you are in right now. The messages, the insights, and the discipline that you are being asked to cultivate right now is so that you can nourish yourself. And the more you nourish yourself, the more light you are able to spread out and exhibit, and the greater the frequency, right? The greater the possibility of you attracting someone who is on the same vibration, is on the same wavelength. So then when you look back on it, you get to say, matter of fact, what were you doing when we first started talking? I was heavy in my meditation. I was focusing on my business. I was just focusing on my growth. I was focusing on my health. I was doing that. And then you'll be able to say, oh, that's how we attracted each other. All of you know situations where you are not in a healthy mental, emotional, spiritual place, and you attracted somebody who is not in a healthy mental, emotional, spiritual place. So one of the things that keeps Dream and I grounded, okay, camera, what are you doing? Okay, let's see what happens here. Really? Okay. So I don't know what's happening with the camera, y'all, but it's all good. One of the things that keeps Dream and I grounded in our relationship is that work. It becomes a part of your relationship story. Me being able to confidently say, when we got together, I was meditating for a year straight. Him being able to say, I wasn't drinking alcohol for a year straight. I wasn't watching TV for a year straight. So whenever we get in our relationship and things get a little bit chaotic, we automatically know, okay, you know what? I got to get back into my meditation. You know what? I got to turn off the TV some. You know what? I gotta stop drinking for a little while. These are the things that keep us grounded. These are the things that help us to maintain our relationship, because that's how we started. Do you understand? Everything is a circle. There's no end, there's no beginning. It's just all going. And so even Dream and I working out, we just started going back to the gym. This is our second week going back to the gym. But this is important for the health of our relationship, because this is where we met. We met at the gym. We met with him training me. He was a personal trainer. I was a volleyball player just working there because I needed to exercise. And we became friends. And he was like, okay, I'm going to train you for free. Let's just do this. And that's what happened. So you want to be working on yourself so that when you manifest that partner and y'all start to have your experiences in your relationships, you can stay grounded in your work and they can stay grounded in their work. in doing your work together helps you to continue to grow in your relationship. Okay? What you are actually desiring and what you are actually needing is a relationship that is spiritually aligned. And in order for you to manifest a relationship that is spiritually aligned, you must be doing spiritual work. You must be analyzing your mind, your heart, your being, your energy, your belief systems. Okay? This is the truth, right? This is just what it is. And when you're not doing that work, you manifest the person who's also not doing that work. And then when things get challenging in your relationship and you're like, okay, how do we overcome this? You don't have anything that grounds you. You just go back to what you know. And so one thing that Dream and I know, based off of how we even got together, is that I need to meditate. He needs to meditate. He has to turn off the world. I have to turn off the world. That's how we do our internal work so that we can become our best selves for ourselves. And as I'm my best self for me, I can be my best self for you and the family. Okay? Y'all have heard the saying, oftentimes how a relationship starts is how a relationship ends. Or oftentimes how a relationship starts is a common thread for what's taking place throughout the relationship. So you want to align yourself to manifest a relationship that starts healthy, holistically. It doesn't mean that it will be perfect. Okay? It can never be perfect because there's no such thing as perfection in humanity. It's impossible because we live in a world of duality. But you can get to a point to where you can balance out those poles. And Dream and I, we had a powerful conversation the other day. We were driving in the car and we just laughed at the fact that we only argue and disagree about human stuff. Paying the bills, that's shit we talk about. Cleaning the house, who's washing the dishes and folding the clothes and when we should be doing this and how. That's the only things we argue about. And when we had that aha moment, this just happened last week. When we had the aha moment, like, damn, the only things we disagree on is humanity. Now, as we move forward in our relationship, it's easier to get over things because we know it's only with this human stuff. Like spiritually, on the soul level, we're good there. We get each other there 100%. We only argue about humanity. And because it's just humanity, it's easier. Hey, dust off your shoulders, water off a duck's back. So you want that groundingness in your relationship, okay? And you manifest that through me time. What is me time? Me time is making sacrifices that are going to force you to grow, heal, and transform. So you got to ask yourself, what is the actual daily disciplines and practices I am invested in that is helping me to get to where I have to go? Okay? And you don't do it with an action reaction. I didn't know I didn't go into meditation every day thinking I was going to manifest a man. I went into meditation every day because I needed to heal my mind because my mind was crazy as hell. Because I was thinking thoughts that were not in alignment with my higher self. I was thinking thoughts that were not in alignment with God. I knew that I could be better. I knew that where I was at was not where I wanted to remain. That is why I did it, and the relationship manifested as a result of that. Okay? So as you're doing your work, this is how you need to proceed. You need to proceed with the understanding that I'm just loving me. I'm nurturing me. I'm filling up my cup. Because as I fill my cup and as I nourish myself, I spread love and light all around me. And just like you all have been able to receive that love and recognize that love that is all around you, a physical person is easy. A physical person becomes easy because you are able to identify love in its many, many forms. And you're able to identify that because you've worked through the limitation in your own mind through that sacrifice. Okay? Do we have any questions about what was just discussed today? Yes, if we do unmute, let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's going on. Yes, yes, yes. I
Come
am here.
on, Jeff and Tremel. I want to hear from them.
Oh, they want
I
to.
wanna hear
Oh, she
from
want to
the
hear
men.
from the guys. What's
Yeah.
up, guys? Jeff and Tramel. She want to hear from the guys. What
Yeah.
y'all thinking? They like, uh-oh. We there, Jeff and Tramel? Or y'all, what y'all thinking about it? What's going on? Let us know. If you can't talk, just let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We good for reading. We can read. We got all the girls on camera. I love it. Love it, love it.
Um,
Thank you, Jeff. What's up?
what's good? What's good? Um, I think for me, um, I don't, I don't think I don't think the past week, I don't think I really had any aha moments in like a
Mm,
good way,
mm,
but like a lot of stuff that did come up for me was just like what I'm not doing, you know.
mm, mm,
And I know last week class was powerful, so you know a lot of stuff did trigger that night, but then
mm,
as I go on, I be on autopilot, you know, so
mm,
much with work and just trying to do so much different stuff that
mm,
I'm pulled in so many different places and stuff. But
mm,
you know, but it just listening to a lot of stuff tonight just really had me just feeling like it's a part of me feel like I'm not disciplined enough right now to embark on this journey that I'm trying to go, you know, but
mm,
also it's just like I did just realize like I say I feel like I wasted a lot of time
mm,
being single, you know, because like you were saying that the me time, you
mm,
know, I've tried. My whole problem has been this whole time is the discipline and consistency,
mm,
you know, because I've tried a lot of things, but not being so disciplined and being consistent has caused a lot of depression on my journey, you
mm,
know, because I've tried so many different things and it just seemed like nothing. I don't say it won't work. It's just that for some reason, excuse me, for some reason that it's like when I do try something, I always just fall off, and it's just that continuous cycle for me, you
yes.
know. And so now I
Mm,
want to embark on this journey now. You know, like I was saying last week, like I've been running from love or relationships and stuff like that, but I always find myself watching romantic movies and things like that. That's always just been a big part of my life. You know, even I watched a couple movies, you know, so over the past week and whatever, cried as usual at certain parts or whatever, and I still don't understand why I do that. You know,
mm,
but for me as a man, you know, being on my journey, you know, I
mm,
guide a lot of women that come into my life for advice and for stuff like that. So even in giving them advice and stuff, it shows me what type of man that I want to be, you
mm,
know,
mm,
because I understand that it's a lot of men that do what I do and they take advantage of women and stuff like that for sexual advance stuff like that. You know, I
mm,
hear a lot of this stuff. And so just, you know, and just speaking to women and stuff like that, it helps me to know what type of man that I don't want to be and what type of man I do want to be. You know,
mm,
because I do have a lot of dark sides to me and stuff like that,
mm,
that I still battle with and stuff like that. But
mm.
but it shows me that I really lack so much self-love for myself. You
Yeah.
know, because I don't receive it nowhere in my life, you
Mm,
know,
mm.
from
Well,
anyone.
let's change the word. We're gonna change the verbiage
Hmm.
because it's not because love is all around us. That's what we're talking about. Love is
Right.
all around us. So it's about you. I'm gonna just tell you the truth, because you're here for the activations, not just to hear me lecture. So I'm gonna just tell you what's actually coming up. Okay.
Hmm.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Your work has to be, Jeff, is knowing that you're worthy of it. See, when you don't feel, and here's how I know it's a big thing that you have to work on. Because you have been unable to speak to what you are doing right.
Right.
A lot of what is coming up inside of you, one of your mental emotional habits is to think about and speak about all of the mistakes that you've made. And if you're always focusing on the mistakes, then you don't feel worthy of the goodness. You don't feel worthy of the manifestation that comes from discipline. You actually still feel guilty and ashamed of the things that you do, and the things that you've done. And when we feel guilt, we automatically persecute ourselves. And if you are persecuted, this means you make yourself a prisoner. And if you are a prisoner, you cannot have anything that is good or anything that is valuable. So, because there's still guilt for what you did or did not do in your past, you are only focusing on your shortcomings because, like I said, there's this feeling of not being worthy. And so when you don't feel worthy of good things, you won't discipline yourself to make it happen. That's where the self-sabotage comes into place. So you have to ask yourself, so you always want to keep striving forward. You want to keep evolving. You want to keep growing. You want to keep pushing yourself. But you have to ask yourself, what is it really that stops me from consistently being in the work? Or let me tell you something that's so good. Let me tell you how spirit works, because this is why you got to reprogram your mind. Because you think that because you didn't complete, let's say, 30 days of meditation or 10 days of fasting, you think that because you did not complete it, you're a failure. And because you're a failure, you're not worthy of the goal or the gift of that discipline.
Right.
That goes back to that guilt energy that you actually have to change and transform. Let me tell you how I know this. Y'all know I had decided that I was going to embark on a 21-day juice fast. I was clearly very ambitious, still being a breastfeeding mother, like full time. I breastfeed still, a 1-year-old, and other things that I was dealing with within my body, to where I'm like, and my naturopathic doctor, she had already told me, she was like, yeah, I don't see you being able to fast that long while breastfeeding. It's going to impact you and you just don't even. I was like, oh, but I'm doing this for spiritual reasons. It's not even just about health. This is spiritual. Like that's what I said. I get to day 7 and all throughout the day, I'm feeling good. But as I'm cooking dinner, I'm so lightheaded. Literally, I had to stop cooking and just sit down. And my spirit said, you need to eat something, sis. Like, you can't do what you're seeing these other people do, even though it looks great and you know the benefits of it. Where you are right now, breastfeeding is not the time. It's just not the time. Your intentions are well, your intentions are good, so on and so forth. I specifically told myself that I was not going to persecute myself, that I was not going to judge myself, and that I was not going to talk down on myself for not completing this amount of days in the fast. I said, I'm still going to receive the benefits, the intentions, and the goals that I set. I'm still going to manifest that. It's still going to come through. And every download, the video that I just did today, was literally one of my intentions. I literally, when I went into that fast, I said, Spirit, I need to know what energy, what attachment, what thought process is stopping me from getting to my next level. I need to know what that is. I need to set myself free of that. But if I had this, I'm a failure mentality, or, oh, I gave up, or I didn't complete it to the end. If I had that mentality, I wouldn't receive the gift that was there for me, that was available for me. So because you don't complete something, you start to talk negatively about yourself, and you take away the gift that was available for you with the time that you did commit. Okay? You have to understand, whatever you are seeking, it is also seeking and searching for you. All right? Okay. And your higher self understands what this battle that you are in, this battle with your lower nature, this battle with your traumatized self, this battle with your ego, this battle with your humanity. But you have to start programming your mind to speak positively and highly of yourself, even when you don't reach the goal. You have to start telling yourself there is still something powerful and uplifting and amazing in this moment. And when you do that, the universe has no other option but to conform to that idea. But because of that self-worth struggle, even when your spirit is giving you something, giving you a gift, giving you power, giving you upliftment, giving you growth, your natural assumption is to think the worst, or is to think that you don't have enough, that you're not doing enough, that it's not good enough. And that is why it continues to happen. So my challenge to you this week, and it's for everybody in this me time week. This week, we're focusing on me time. We're actually adding another layer on top of the class. So let's just get into it. Week 1, we wanted to understand that we are all this wanderer. We're all seeking and searching to understand ourselves on a deeper level. And we use our relationships as a reflection to understand who we are. Week 2, we started to understand that I wish I wasn't energy. I wish I wasn't this person. I wish I wouldn't have done those things. But we use the reflection of the people in our past to let us know what we should be doing. So like I said, when I was dealing with abandonment issues and people not being present, all it did was let me know that I need to be there for myself more often, that I need to not abandon myself, that I need to show up for myself. Last week, we also talked about looking for love in all of the many ways that it shows up. It could show up as somebody saying thank you, somebody holding the door, somebody giving you a compliment, a butterfly landing on you, a ladybug being in your car. It can show up in so many ways. We talked about identifying those things, speaking to it, saying, I see you, love. Thank you. I welcome you, love. So even Jeff, when you say, I haven't received it, that is a limiting belief that you have to break. There is no limitations to love. Just the other day, a ladybug was in our car. I'm like, how the hell you get in here? But thank you. Then, of course, I do my research. Ladybugs symbolize good luck. They are this, they are that. Oh, thank you. This is a manifestation of love. But your mind will tell you, Jeff, oh, no, that's just a random ass ladybug in the car. Get out of here. What you doing in here? When you need to say, thank you, Spirit, for giving me this symbol of good luck and fortune and abundance. Thank you for showing me love by way of a ladybug. That's just an example. Okay? So this is what you have to prime your mind for. But for you, Jeff, specifically in the me time, which is the space you are in right now, your me time is, how do I stop spending too much time thinking about what I did wrong or what I didn't get right? And how do I shift my energy to congratulate myself for the things that I do right? Like making it to work on time. Like not watching the nasty movies that you said you're not supposed to be watching. Not not calling that girl who you know you don't have no intentions of being with. Those simple things like that, you have to focus your energy on and expand. You got to stretch that. It starts with the smallest thing, but you know the saying, where energy goes, attention flows. So you have to start putting more attention into what you are doing right and let that thing grow. But understand, it's going to be a test. It's going to be a trial, but you have to be patient as you are growing in this thing. It doesn't happen overnight. It is going to be a test because you've been so used to observing yourself and thinking of yourself in a specific way. Okay? Because you've been holding yourself hostage to guilt, the guilt trips are going to come up. That's going to happen. But you have to detach from that and understand that that is not you. That is your condition. And that's been the whole essence of this conversation today. We have identified with certain conditions that are not who we actually are. You are not a failure. You are not unworthy. You are not undisciplined. You are not toxic masculinity. You are not jealous. You are not any of those things. You are not guilty. You are not those things. You are just conditioned to think of yourselves that way based off of some trauma. Now sit with that for a little bit.
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay.
And that goes for everybody. We all have that thing. Oh, I love that. You are loved, Jeff. I want everybody to go listen to Cleo Del Sol. I forgot to send that to you, Shamika. Everybody needs to go listen to that. Did I send it to you, Shamika?
No, and you didn't send the recording
reading?
either. You didn't
Girl.
see the reading. That's okay. I was gonna tell you today.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it today. But everybody go listen to that song, You Are Loved. Because it's so true. You know, even if you don't love yourself, even if you can't understand yourself, even if you aren't able to receive yourself, you are loved. Even if you don't believe it for yourself, you have to start putting yourself in position to see that and to recognize that. And I promise you, once you ask Spirit to show you that, you will see. You will see it. You have no other option but to see it. There's no other option. But you have to discipline yourself to ask. Okay? So that's everybody's week. Everybody's work this week is to get clear on what is that belief system, what is that thought process that is in the way or that is causing the delay in the manifestation of sacred love. Okay? Some of you have already been tapping into it. Okay? Some of you have already been tapping into it. And the reason why we know that is just based off of how you've come on today. Like Shamika, you're ready, you're in position, but like we said, you know, you had to clear out that old person so that you can be ready to receive that new energy and understanding that the love has always resided inside of you. Shay, just this week, you had the realization that you have been craving and desiring for that love and that knowing that you can love, you know, waiting to receive that from your mother, and your mother finally just gave it to you. So you know that it's there. Jenny, you just discovered, you know what I mean? You just discovered, oh, that loss of your childhood friend was something that was traumatic and scary. So we're realizing and looking at that space that's in between where we are right now and where we desire to go. And so the me time is really the mean time, right? Y'all remember that in the meantime, just do this. So in the meantime, you all are validating the love that is present all around you. That is your meantime. Your meantime is connecting more with this new identity than you are connecting with that old identity. The meantime is still having gratitude and joy and hope for your future and knowing that it's happening. The meantime is being patient with yourself as you are disidentifying from your old self and now identifying with your new self. Being patient as you are being tested, because baby, it is all trial and error. And then in the meantime, you're consistently doing both of those things, being patient with yourself and having gratitude for what's to come. Okay? Very powerful energy. Let me see what Tramel, I think I saw Tramel type something in here. He says, I have to discipline myself on YouTube videos and TV. I've been meditating longer and I feel distant from my relationship. Meditation brings a sense of calmness, energy, and peace. Going within seems to be my season to get clarity on my journey. It's yes, sir. The time is now. The time is absolutely now. And you are supported. You're supported in it. You know what I mean? You're so supported in it. The time has come for us to stop messing around. What y'all know about that? It's time to stop messing around It's time to stop playing with yourself, okay? It's time to stop playing with yourself. That's just the reality. And so we got to just be constantly choosing to rise up, constantly choosing to rise up. It's a moment by moment by moment thing. Do not overwhelm yourself by thinking about everything you got to do tomorrow and next week and the week after that. That's the quickest way to sabotage yourself. The quickest way to sabotage your goals is by thinking about next week when you need to be focusing on right now. When you need to be asking yourself, how can I live more in alignment with love right now? How can I nurture myself right now? So like specifically for you, Jeff, don't think about the whole day of positive thinking. Don't think about everything that you have to do to align to be disciplined. How can you be disciplined? Or just right now. Just right now in this moment. Okay? And then what ends up happening is that energy stretches and it expands and it becomes easier and easier and easier. But you got to get over the hump and you have to resist. I don't want to say resist because resistant is not the best word to use. You have to manage your expectations. Ooh, honey. You have to manage your expectations. Humans are creatures of habits. Humans are creatures of habits. So even some of the thoughts that you are having, you know it ain't in alignment with what you truly want. You know it ain't. But just because you know it ain't doesn't mean that it's going to change tomorrow. Doesn't mean that it's going to change tomorrow because you've already been thinking a specific way. Okay. That thought process is already encoded inside of you. So we must absolutely learn to detach. Stop taking it so seriously. It is not you. You are not the thoughts. You are not the thoughts. The thoughts are a condition. And when you start to see it that way, this lightens the load. Oh my God, you can set yourself free so good by just understanding that you are not those thoughts. Those thoughts are programs. Okay? Anybody have any questions before we hop off of here for tonight? Any questions before we hop off of here for tonight? I think we got it in. I know we got it in. Taryn, yes, sis, what's up?
No, I don't have any questions per se, but I just wanted to thank you all because it is not the easiest to be vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's a big thing for me is allowing myself to be vulnerable. And so you all sharing throughout this class and being vulnerable to me is a form of love. So thank you for giving love and take some. I love y'all. Y'all have been like A+. So, with y'all
Yes,
smiling
Taryn.
faces. So thank you.
Taryn, I'm proud of you for even coming on and saying that, sis. That's it. That's one step in the right direction. So congratulations to you for that. And the more you allow yourself to do that, the more you're going to be open to receive, because what you're really craving is emotional support and emotional safety. You know, somebody that makes you feel safe to express yourself. But in order to receive it, you're going to have to put yourself in position to receive it.
Yes, I've been sprinkling it all this week. I've been sprinkling love on everything this week.
Just little sprinkles, because you're so right. What you said is so right. And so you got to remind yourself, vulnerability is love. Vulnerability is love. Vulnerability is love. Vulnerability is love, because in vulnerability is honesty, it's truth, it's a knowing that God got your back, right? Because when we are honest and we're vulnerable, there's this karmic exchange that's happening, because when we say things that are hard to say, it can shift somebody, and it can heal somebody, and it can put somebody on the right path. And that causes a domino effect of positivity in your life. Honey, that's my motivation to go live more often. Creating some positive karma in my life.
You should, because my mother been peeking, like she come in here and she peek, what you watching? And she came here the other day, she was like, what you watching? Is that Desiree?
I love that. I love that. But
So,
I'm so proud of you for even coming on and just sharing how that vulnerability is touching you, because I know that probably took some strength and some courage from you. So you're moving in the right direction. And the more you do it, the more you're going to feel that divine hug and that divine safety, because we're divinely supported always. And even when a person cannot emotionally support us, it has nothing to do with our vulnerability. It has everything to do with theirs, right? Is that it has everything to do with their fear of emotion, with their fear and their insecurity, and what that means to have certain feelings, what that means to allow yourself to be seen. So, and yes, I did. Christiane said, I love that you also put love in your name. Yes, we saw that. I noticed that, and I applaud you for that as well. So thank you so much for sharing that, Taryn. I love it.
oh, you're welcome.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
appreciate it. I'm gonna take that and put it in my pocket.
Yes.
Love is infinite, right? It's a resource without limit. So why shouldn't I give it more often?
Oh, girl, it's unlimited. It's an unlimited supply,
Right.
you know? It's an unlimited
Infinite.
supply. Like, why not? Why not? All right. I love y'all. I want y'all to enjoy this me time. Enjoy this me time. Love on yourself, nurture yourself. And matter of fact, when we come back next week, I want to hear from everybody and what that me time was actually feeling like. And trust me, I'm doing me time too. And everything that we've been talking about, I am also still implementing into my life as well. So I look forward to hearing from y'all. Love on yourselves, nurture yourself, make those sacrifices, do those scary things. Do it, because all it's going to do is help you to realize that you are stronger than you may feel, smarter than you know, you're more in tune, you're more aligned than you think. Okay. So you'll realize that you are already everything that you desire to be. You are already it. You just got to trick yourself and get in alignment with it, right? It's the ego and it's the trauma that's like, oh, this is hard. Oh no, this, I can't do this, da, 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 da. And it's just not even true. You're ready. You are ready now. You're ready right now. Okay. I love y'all, and we'll be talking next Wednesday. I'm going to send y'all that video by Cleo Soul for y'all to listen to that song. And I'm going to send y'all this recording. Peace and love. Shamika, you about to say something?
Send the recording from yesterday.
Oh yeah,
please,
I already
and
sent
thank
it
you.
to you. I already sent it to you. Check your
Okay,
email.
please
All
and
right.
thank you. All
Peace.
right.